Hello, so today's Bauble and Banter is going to be for a Alice in Wonderland themed bauble. I think Alice in Wonderland can be used any time of the year, so it's very popular at Easter. But Halloween, I mean, look at this print with the black and white. I just think a little bit of pop of red, that could be used for Halloween. And then also for Christmas, I mean, imagine Alice in Wonderland Christmas tree, gold watches and, you know, the little clocks and things in there. I think that'd just be amazing. So today's Bauble and Banter is going to be Alice in Wonderland. And of course, with Alice, we need a bit of Harlequin. And then we've got a pop of red in here for the hearts, for the, what do you call them, playing cards. So I'm going to bring in a bit of red as well. We're going to use a 10 centimetre polystyrene ball. And off we go. I'm going to apologise now that I had my wisdom tooth out on Monday and I am feeling much better. But I'm just amazed how much pain I'm still in. So talking's actually been a bit of an issue. So I'll keep talking, but I might have to be a little bit quieter than normal. But anyway, hopefully it'll be all right. I'm just going to work out how many segments I want. So I'm going to go with 3 segments. And I think I'll have them quite equal. So to do equal ones, what we do is we put a kiss in. Remember my rule of we do not measure, we don't draw guidelines, we just cut. If you cut them with the knife and turn the bauble, you'll pretty much get a straight line. Now, a lot of polystyrene balls do come with an imprint, so I usually just look for that little circle imprint. And then we're going to go straight across and straight down the sides. And if we just keep turning, and we'll find our way back into the middle. So if you can see that, that should pretty much be in the middle. So I always say, start with the easiest material. And I'm just looking around and Katie's magic tool, it's gone missing, there it is. Katie's magic trusted tool, which is a nail file, slightly adapted to protect my hands. So here we go. So I'm going to go with, I've got red velvet. This is red crushed velvet, super flexible, stretchy, lovely material to work with. So I'm going to do this on alternative sides. So stretching it out, I hold it top and bottom with my thumb and then down each side. Now, sometimes you might struggle to find where the grooves are, and I go side to side. I don't do all one side to side, and make your way up to the point, pulling a little bit on each side. If for any reason it doesn't go in easy when you're pushing or you can't find where the groove is, just go down it with your magic tool. And then look, just so easy goes in. And we're just going to prod to the top, stretch it down to the bottom, thumb to hold it in place. And again, bring it down a little bit on each side. I can't quite feel that side, so I'm just going to... There we go, so much easier. I should have done that from the beginning, really. So yeah, so I think Alice in Wonderland can be used for any time of year. So I thought, well, today's Bauble and Banter should be a creative bauble that we can use at any time of year. But as we are in summertime and a lot of the decor and crafting people like to work a season ahead, we're all trying to get our supplies in, or if you're a wreath maker, trying to decide designs for wreaths, I think an Alice in Wonderland Harlequin, although the Harlequin is used a lot for Christmas, for Halloween. Gosh, I don't even know what season I'm in. I will say I'm highly on the paracetamol, only the paracetamol, but the paracetamol back to back for my tooth. But yes, I think this could be used for Halloween, not Christmas just yet, but Halloween would be great. So if you're a wreath maker, this would be a great bauble, or just a decoration. It doesn't even have to be classed as a bauble. You'll see on this one, I'm not going to put a bow on. And I'm not going to have any hanging ribbon. This will be a decoration that you could either add to a wreath or in a little bowl on your I'm struggling for words, on your side table in your hallway, anything like that. This would be really good. And if you like to do a little display in your kitchen, I mean, we all live and breathe in our kitchens now, don't we? We all hang out in our kitchens. So if you had like a little fruit bowl, or a basket or anything, you could put in a decoration like this, or a bowl of decorations, which would look lovely for Halloween. Doesn't always have to be scary. I don't do scary Halloween. So for this, I want to make sure that, you know, I have got an Alice print here, so I want to make sure I get her on, I might go the bigger side, on this section here. So I'm just looking at where she is, and I'm just going to put my thumbs roughly in the right place so I can see Alice there, and I'm just going to dab her in. Now this is cotton, and if this is your first time, practice with the crushed velvet because it's stretchy and really nice to work with. Cotton doesn't have much stretch in it, so as you go down you will get the sides and things going slightly up on the edges. It is a little bit harder material to work with. However, it is almost how you make your statement pieces. I mean, without the Alice pattern, would you know it's an Alice in Wonderland bauble or decoration? Maybe, maybe not. But if you just work in each side, and what I tend to do is, if it is getting these little bumps you can see here, hopefully you can see that detail, is down and just slightly back on itself, we'll sort that out. And what I will say is when you're putting the cotton in, really push it in quite hard, because it pops out a little easier than the velvet does. But it comes with practice. I actually find cotton's easier than satin. Satin's quite a difficult material to work with. But crushed velvet, crushed velvet you can do all day, every day. It's very accommodating and looks really nice. I mean, it is a beautiful, quite luxury fabric, isn't it? But then adding a print is what makes, so it's not just a red bauble. Alice in Wonderland. So yeah, so it's a technique to learn, but people often say I make it look easy. Believe me, I've made hundreds now. Hundreds. So yeah, I've had many hours of tucking it out and pushing it back in and all the rest. But over time you learn a little technique. So on that one we went with Alice. So on this one, do I want the pocket watch or a rabbit? That's the question. I'm just going to look across the fabric. Where's the easiest bit to get a pocket watch? I think we'll go for that one. I don't like to waste material, so I do try and find the best place for it. I might just do a guide down these because it feels like I'm not going to be able to find it. So yeah, using my nails. Okay, so a little bit in one side, a little bit in the other. If you wanted that smack bang in the middle, you'd almost have to go over on one side and then the other and really pull it in, okay, to get it down the middle. And then we're going to pull up and up to the top. And there we go. And again, by feeding it in side by side, I'm doing it quite hard, getting it in there, and it also pushes out any ridges and folds I get along the edge. Lost all my scissors in all this material. So I like to use a small pair of fabric scissors, just because that means I can get in, because again, I don't like to measure or draw out templates. It takes away the fun. Do not do it. Pour a glass of wine. Get your material just on long pieces of material, and just work away at it. Get your little scissors and it makes life a lot easier. But we're not doing little templates. We're not cutting out and measuring, because believe me, I've tried it. I started out that way, and by the time you even come to get all your fabric on, you're over it. You've had enough. Okay, so now we've got our Alice, our clock, and our luxury red velvet. And now we're going to go in with the Harlequin. Now, originally when I started, I didn't like Harlequin because one, this cotton, I'm in England and we can't seem to get anything other than this material, this fabric seems to come from everybody, and it's no stretch in it whatsoever. It's very thin as well, and they're quite big patterns. So I've learnt to work with this. So what I tend to do now, and I'll tell you because I've spent many hours trying to get this to line up, is I start with a black triangle at the top and just try and get it so it's going down either side there. And believe me, it's probably the best you're going to do to get it equal down the sides, okay? And if you try and do it symmetrical too much, you'll cry and give up and say, I'm never using Harlequin again. So don't. Be gentle to yourself. Remember, crafting is fun. Crafting is our sanity. Crafting just, you know, helps us deal with the day-to-day. So keep it fun, keep it nice, don't overlook. And also, if you think about it, whatever your decoration's going on, whether it's in a bowl, whether it's on a tree, whether it's in a wreath, it's never going to be straight on, you know, portrait view, smack down the middle. Nobody's going to see that anyway. So do not overstress. Create and enjoy it. Pour that glass of wine, or mulled wine as we get to Christmas, mulled wine. So as I say, the cotton does tend to pop out a lot easier, so I do try and push it in harder because otherwise you cut it a bit short, but we'll get there. And in at the bottom and along the sides. Push it in. Okay. So now, ooh, it's starting to get there. See, that to me now, I can picture it, and I am seeing Alice. I'm thinking, yeah, Alice in Wonderland. So the thing you have to say is, if I didn't say Alice in Wonderland, especially with the pocket watch, would you think it? And I think I would. Spent many years as a child watching Alice in Wonderland, so I probably am. Although I've not watched, there's a new one, isn't there? What I class as a modern day version. I've not watched that yet. Okay, right, top to bottom. And I might just show you actually. I'm not going to have this one perfect. I'm going to have it slightly offside. And I think in some ways the detail's nicer. You get a bit more of the pattern. So I'm going to actually leave it like that. Just to show you how. So it's not down the middle, it's not symmetrical. I might, originally, when I first started making baubles, I'd probably panic about that and be thinking, oh, I need to redo it, it's not right. I think, for me, what I hate most is if you had a crease like that in the middle of the bauble, that would be the worst thing I think I could do. Having a pattern off centre is fine. That's going to add to the detail of this. In some ways, when it's right down the middle, it's a little bit boring. This adds a bit more interest. Oh, that's what I'm going to tell myself anyway, but I think it does. And we craft for ourselves, don't we? More often than not, it's for ourselves. And even if you're crafting to add to a wreath, etc., as long as you think it's good and nice and where you want the design to be, that's the important bit. Okay, we are almost there. Okay, so there we go. Harlequin. So we've got the Harlequin, we've got the Alice in Wonderland print, and we've got the luxury crushed velvet. Okay, so I'm just going to get my next supplies together. What we're going to do down the edges, I'll be honest, I haven't quite decided, but I do have the wonderful embellishment for the top. That's ready. So I'm just going to check out what I'm going to use and I'll be straight back. Okay, I've decided I'm going to use this braid red. I just think, yeah, I think that looks nice. So, glue gun, and as I always say, cheap and cheerful glue gun. That's not going to burn my fingers off when I need to press down. All the way around. And we're just going to follow with the same braiding all the way. I think on every one. I was trying to decide if I wanted to alternate with a different one, but no, I think I want to keep it all the same. So I just go down. I just want it all to connect in the middle, because that's where our embellishment's going to go, and then it'll cover over any sins of where our braid meets. Ooh. There we go. And all I do is pull tight. I'm not pushing it because I don't want it to go inside of the grooves. I'm just going to pull it tight, turn the bauble as I go, and then push it right into the middle. And again, I just use the nozzles, push the glue right into the folds there, all the way around. Hold it down. My glue gun is nice. It doesn't burn my fingers. Flat finger if you just want to make sure it's connected. And then again, all the way to the middle. And we join. And then I'm going to trim off that edge. Okay. So there we go. Look. Alice in Wonderland. So, earlier today, I made one of my diamante embellishments, and what I thought is that would go nicely over here. I'm just trying to work out which one. I think I want it so that Alice is there. Yep. So, bite the bullet. Let's give it a good coverage. A little bit on here too. And the good thing about these that I use is we can, so all I want to do is make sure the arms, as I'll refer to them as, the diamantes are going in the right directions. Got lots of glue sticking to me now. And a flat hand, and it just bends over and connects. And then what I like to do, just on the edges, give it a little glue, and we'll just hold them into position, because we don't want it sticking up, because that'd look a bit odd, wouldn't it, stuck up. So I want it to go flat. Just hold them until they take, which they have, and then the same again on here. And I have a number of other tutorials where I show you how I make the embellishments. If you're interested in making your own, have a look at those. But yeah, I made a red and diamante. And there we go. Let's get the clean workspace. Okay. And there we have it. Halloween or Christmas or whatever period you want to use it for. But it's a Alice in Wonderland themed decoration. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please do subscribe, and I'll be back with more.